Hi, it's Craig. What happens when a lizard, a mouse, and a monkey walk into a bar? I have no idea. But I do know what happens when a lizard, a mouse, and a monkey are living in my brain, and I deal with the results of that mess every single day. And so do you, whether you know it or not. Because at the very foundation of how our brains function, we have these three creatures, each with very different agendas, all trying to get along. Sometimes it works, and oftentimes it doesn't. So one of the interesting things about evolution is it doesn't actually remove the old and put new things in. It takes new things and layers them on top of old. And so it is with the human brain. And for any of us dealing with trying to make new habits, trying to improve our lives, maybe keeping better posture, or perhaps making better food choices, or just maybe perceiving ourselves in the world and the world in a better light. This combination of creatures living in our brains can be a very frustrating situation. So it all started about 500 million years ago with the fish. Okay, so that's actually the whole brain. You'll know what I'm doing there. But the fish is where the brain basically evolved, and the fish became the reptile, so they call this first brain the lizard brain. Okay, and the lizard brain is basically just down around here. It's the brain stem, the cerebellum. This is the part of the brain that's responsible for survival, the fight or flight response. It controls our breathing, our heart rate, our digestion. All of our anxieties are down there. There's a lot of vigilance here, just making sure it stays alive. And all of our deeply entrenched patterns, attitudes, deep beliefs about ourselves and about what the world means, our behaviors, live here. And that worked out well for the reptile for a long time until, a couple 100 million years later, the mammals needed a little more computing power as they started to evolve. And now, thanks to the limbic brain, we can now recognize good behaviors. I should say mammals could recognize good behaviors from bad behaviors. Their impulsiveness and curiosity increased a little bit while they searched for food a little more aggressively. Children definitely live in the limbic brain. And that worked out really well for mammals until about a couple 100 million years ago when primates and the incoming humans needed way more brain power. So in order to have complex social structure and culture and higher learning, we needed the neocortex. Okay, that's that part up on top. And as the humans began to develop even further, it became all these deep folds got deeper and bigger. These folds are there because in order to take in more, to get smarter, we didn't want our brains to actually increase in size, because then we might not make it out of our moms, or perhaps our moms might not make it through childbirth. Not a good idea. Very different discussion though. So this area here, we had higher judgment. This is where the conversations take place about whether we should eat that piece of pizza or perhaps salad is a better choice. And notice that that's where those conversations take place. But the part of the brain that is controlling our deep behaviors, that has so much control when it comes to executing these decisions, is down here. And this part here wants us to stay alive. And the best way it knows to keep us alive is to make things as habitualized, to keep things as routine as possible. And it does not like to give up control, even if our intelligent brain realizes that some of the patterns down here might not be so positive. Now, you might have noticed in many of my previous videos, in fact, probably every one of them, there's an underlying message of staying aware. Stay aware, pay attention to your movements, to your good posture, to your healthy choices. And if you lose sight of those, you come back to it. That's exactly how we have to lay over new patterns into this reptilian brain. Now, when we're trying to make a decision, we think about something. Hey, I'm going to wake up early, I'm going to get to the gym, and we wake up and we fall back into old patterns. That's the lizard brain regaining control, right? It's trying to make sure we're surviving, doesn't want any changes, right? But then we got to think, oh, wait a minute. I need to get up. I need to get to the gym. I need to make that healthier choice. I need to strengthen my core, use my posture, whatever it is. that comes back up here, right, into the top, into the human intelligent brain. But then soon enough, the lizard brain is going to regain control. Then we're going to think about it. We're going to stay mindful of it back up here in the human primate brain. And then we go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And that is incredibly frustrating. It causes a lot of discouragement. It ends up leading a lot of us to maybe lose hope, maybe thinking that making some new positive lifestyle choices just isn't going to happen. Staying stronger, eating better, whatever it is, even being nicer to ourselves, it's hard to do. But this back and forth is exactly what's needed. We have to continue being mindful. And as we do that, as we repeat that pattern of coming back to our intelligent brain, to our human brain, we are going to eventually lay down new habits over the old ones. Now remember, evolution, it doesn't take out the old habits. It puts the new ones on top. So the old patterns are still going to be there. We got to stay mindful of our new choices. I'm going to be pushing this point a lot in the future as I talk about the many ways that there are that we can get healthier, the many things that you and I and all of us can do to be a little healthier, a little stronger tomorrow than we were today. So share this video with anybody you know who's dealing with just trying to make some lifestyle changes. Of course, make sure you're on the mailing list, but most importantly, remember this relationship, okay? And keep in mind that this isn't science class, not a very good picture, okay? I didn't go to brain school, and we certainly know that these brains are interconnected in a lot of ways. But at the heart of it, we have these three. We have this brain just trying to keep us alive. We have this brain just hunting around for some food. We have this brain thinking about the whole thing and looking for belonging. And if we just recognize, at least make note of that relationship, that this is going on up here, that's a great step towards moving smarter and living stronger down your own personal path of wellness. Hey, leave me a message, a comment. Let me know what you think I should name this guy. Until next time.